Since acquiring Kevin Durant, the Houston Rockets in so many ways have honestly exceeded expectations. I mean, frankly, when you look at the fact that this team is both a top 5 offense and defense out the gate, this team has been nothing short of dangerous. And today we get into how this Rockets team are still legitimate contenders, even with teams like the Thunder and the Nuggets in the West. And that all starts, I believe, with the guy that's been the face of the franchise now for the past few years, Amen Sengun, and just how great of a playmaker he truly is. Obviously, with a player like Sengun, we know what makes him special. It's his ability to facilitate not just for himself, but for everybody else on this Rockets team. Now that they have basically moved on from guys like Jalen Green and have basically allowed the idea of Point Sengun to take over, now I think that you are seeing him towards his best. I mean, he's at a career high in assists, right? Which assists doesn't always necessarily facilitate or equal to playmaking, but at the same time, right, like plays like that, moments like that where he's able to force defenses to collapse in and then have to guard up on him, I think are going to make things so difficult, right? Like he gets Caruso on him. And I love to, he doesn't shy away from going in for that contact and then throws it right out to that corner or to the wing. My apologies. This is a way that Amen Thompson is able to basically dictate the way that defenses will play this team's offense, that I think has made this team so great offensively. I love here, right? He uses the threat of his shot not once, but twice to force Wemby to pull, to come out. And obviously that's an Amen Thompson 3. Most teams will live with that every time. But I love here, right? He even backs down, just out to the corner, right? Because he catches Stephon Castle, sitting down in that corner. And again, now he's got Sochan out. Deadliness about what Sengun is that now that you've given him a legitimate isolation scorer or just a legit catch and shoot guy in Kevin Durant, and obviously a deadly, cutting downhill guy in Amen Thompson, I think this team offensively is going to look a lot better. Now, again, they don't shoot a lot of threes, but at the same time, like the offense itself doesn't look nearly as ugly at times. It has its moments still, right, where if Sengun doesn't really have it going, or if KD's doing one of his nights where he's kind of starting off slow, then it could get a little rough. But overall, I think Sengun being able to truly step up and be the primary ball handler and facilitator for this team has really made this team a whole different level of deadly. Because again, just the way that he's able to operate and work has just been nothing short of remarkable. So I think now that we talked about why Sengun's playmaking and passing has basically taken this team up to the next level, we can look now at what they do so fantastically because of a guy like Amen Thompson, who frankly has been nothing short of remarkable because of his two-way play and the rim pressure that he brings to this team, relative especially with a lot of other guys. Amen Thompson obviously is a menace on both ends of the floor, but I think his demand and offensive increase is something that we need to talk about a little bit more. We knew this team defensively was going to be elite. We knew that. Their personnel, the way they play, Ime Udoka, the scheme, the whole lot of it, right? They're going to always be involved. But I love that Amen Thompson brings this team some speed, because he can play out in transition and get downhill to his spot at a level with aggression that a lot of other players can't on this team, just whether it's due to age or their, just the way they play. I think in general, what Amen Thompson brings is that little bit of spice almost that can bring things to a whole different level, right? And also the fact that, right, his lane ability to read the lanes, whether it's on defense or offense, even to figure out where to create for himself and separate. And then you'll get moments like this, right? Adam sets a great pick. They kind of live with this, and there's just nothing you can do about that when you're going downhill. Amen Thompson can get a head full of steam as one of the most athletic players in the league and is going to make you pay, right? Like, this is just high IQ. Dylan Brooks kind of just points over. I guess nobody ever decided to make this adjustment because they go to help on KD. KD's able to just sling it out to Amen, who immediately, by the way, threw his hands up to, signal, I'm open. Don't worry. Like, I got us. And again, now you get Amen Thompson out in transition, and it's like, someone go beat that. And with the team that is top 5 in defense and offense and is obviously going to get out in transition, how do you stop someone like Amen Thompson consistently going downhill? That's hard. Now, in the half-court setting, I will say Amen's looked a little bit rougher in terms of, again, teams will, and this will happen in the playoffs, don't even question it, they will sit on him. They will say, go ahead and shoot. We dare you to shoot. Do something about it. And if you hit your threes, if you go off for 4 or 5 tonight, it is what it is. We'll live with it. We know you probably won't do it again. What Amen Thompson brings to this team is rim pressure, because aside from Sengun, honestly, the way a lot of this team plays will be those middies, and like they'll sometimes get down to the rim, but that's off boards. Amen brings that straight up, like, I'm coming from the 3-point line and I am going to charge downhill. If you just look here, like even going up to that shot, the team was completely, sat back on Amen Thompson. They did not respect the 3-ball. But again, it's just when he can get into that space and gets that little bit of separation that makes him so deadly, because obviously you know what he's giving you on the defensive end. And then finally, we have to talk about, obviously, Kevin Durant. And then obviously KD completes what this team was needing, which is when we got into the half court, things that slow down, right? You see there's 12 seconds on the shot clock. It's give Kevin the ball, everybody else space the hell out of the floor and let him go operate. He will just rise over dudes like Franz Wagner, who is no slouch as a defender, and just completely take advantage, right? And it's like, just give the ball to Kevin and look at the way he's able to still blow by and gets to force the foul. Again, now you're getting a guy who is able to force the issue in the half court defensively for teams, right? Now it's not just, okay, we try and stay home on Sengun and hope that everyone else can shoot. Now you have a dude that if the going gets tough, Kevin, take us home and we can win this game. And then you get looks like this. KD got Franz one-on-one, just completely shrugs him off. Desmond Bane shows up. There's nothing you're going to do about this. This is something they didn't have in the playoffs last year. If it wasn't Sengun and Jalen Green didn't have that singular game, the offense was not happening. This is why Houston, I thought, was extremely intelligent in the way they went about this, not having to pay KD a super mega duper max and getting their money's worth while still not giving up their entire core for him. This team can down the stretch go, Kevin, we're struggling, right? Or Sengun's giving us what we need, but we just need that little punch. Kevin's going to give you his 25 a night. Like, that's just going to happen. Even at this age, just the way that Kevin plays, he's going to get his. Ultimately, how good is this Houston team? We'll see. But I think I don't need to waste time breaking down film on Kevin Durant. We know who he is. He said so in a video long ago. We know who he is. And he's special. Now I'm going to get into my overall thoughts of this Rocket team and why I still think they're legitimate contenders in the Western Conference. Now, I know, guys. I know. But Emster, the Thunder are 24-1, at least as I'm recording this video on the 11th of December. You are absolutely correct. The Thunder look damn near unbeatable. But you know who else looked damn near unbeatable? The 73-9 Warriors. They were down 3-1 in the conference finals, and they blew a 3-1 lead. Now, that is not me saying that Thunder are going to do that, or they won't dominate their way through. They very well could. But it's clear that it does not always mean you're guaranteed that in the playoffs. And I think if there's a team that can capitalize on the lack of three-point shooting from Oklahoma City, other than Denver, it's Houston. Guys, Houston's offensive rebounding percentage is absolutely ridiculous. Like, what they are able to do, they get 16 boards a game. 16. That's 38% offensive rebound percentage. So you might go, well, Emster, what does that mean? Well, we know OKC can clamp. We know that. But if Steven Adams and Sengun and even a guy like Clint Capella, you name some of those bigs down there, getting you those old boards, what does it matter? Like, OKC can play their ass off for 24 seconds. But none of that matters if Sengun, Adams, or Capella just get the board and it can go right back up, or then force an even longer possession. They can basically play a game of attrition against the Thunder. And similarly to the Nuggets, I think they can still basically throw two bodies at a dude like Jokic, which we've seen over the past 2 to 3 years now does affect him. Objectively, it does. I think if they can throw bodies at Jokic, and I think that the way they play in the half court defensively, and now they have a dude like Kevin Durant, and Amen Thompson can force the issue of going downhill, I genuinely think that this Houston team is contending, and I think that they could come out of the West. Now, would I bet on it? Maybe not. But would I make a video, I can't believe the Houston Rockets came out of the West? No, because it is believable. They are top 5 in both, like in defense and in offense. The offense, I think, will struggle a little bit, and I know we're early in the regular season, but I believe that we should not leave Houston out of these early contender talks. The way they've been playing on both sides of the ball has been absolutely dominant. Everything they've gotten from Kevin Durant is what they paid for. And frankly, this team looks like if things go their way and if they get red hot right before the playoffs, things could get nasty. So let me know what you guys think about the Houston Rockets. Do you think they're contenders like I do? Do you think that Emster, cut it out? Denver and OKC exist. Houston's the stepbrother. They're third. No one really cares. So as always, guys, this was Emster Knows Hoops. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.